Today I'm in Kitchener, and we are at Homer Watson House. And I'm with Ralf.
Hi.
Ralf Wall. And Ralf Wall is an amazing plein air painter that I've run into quite a few times over the last few years at workshops, at plein air events. So it's amazing that we're able to sit down together. And what's your inspiration today, Ralf?
Every time I come out in the back here, we have this gorgeous lawn, and these amazingly loud helicopters are just taking this opportunity to fly over us. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll be on the 11 o'clock news. But these trees are lit behind with the sky, and it's nice and sunny, and just over the ridge is the Grand River.
Right.
So I've walked the paths behind here many times. I've walked the grounds, I've painted here many times, held workshops here. It's just a very peaceful environment outside of helicopters.
How long have you been doing this kind of thing?
Like plein air painting?
Yeah.
I started in college, actually. So I went to Niagara College back in 89, 90, and this was back when Church of Romance was really big. You had all these florals and potted fruits and like, for lack of a better term, really girly watercolors that the old ladies would gather and paint. And that sounds really bad these times, but at the time that's what I was thinking. I don't want to do this. But I had this amazing teacher, this old Dutch World War II veteran. His very first day, let's get to know each other. He told us his war story of survival.
Right.
And then he said, go paint something I told you. So my first watercolor in college was of this morbid guy dying on the snowy field while this train of people are going to camp with guys with machine guns. And I still have this photo, this painting. It's about 5 by 7. But it made a big impact.
Yeah.
And he really fostered me telling stories through my art. So I'm big into fantasy. I'm big into like history and all that kind of stuff. So he said, if you want really realistic looking backgrounds for your giants and warriors fighting,
right,
go outside, look at trees, look at the hills, look at the water, paint from life, and your fantasy will become more realistic.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. It really took off about 15, 20 years ago here at Homer Watson when I just took an extracurricular course. I met a now friend, Scott McNichol, and we started doing plein air together.
Right.
We've gone to Algonquin, many trips, like all around Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
And I can't stop. I prefer to paint outdoor live.
Yeah.
I do it constantly, as you know. It's just a thrilling feeling for me. It's the challenge of capturing something while the light is changing and everything is moving, and so it's more about my impression in what it's like, what it feels like to be here, as
right,
opposed to what it looks like to be here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I found other people that I talked to about plein air, they have similar stories where it was just sort of an off chance that I'll go try it kind of thing. And once they tried it once, they're hooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's kind of why I started the Waterloo Plein Air Society, because it wasn't really something organized around here.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I have all these people who want to take courses with me. Let's just get together and just do it informally. If you want a tip or two, sure, but let's just paint along, watch me, follow, play around.
Yeah.
Let's go around and help each other out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So now, because of this, I have my pack, which is always in my truck, all year round, winter, spring, summer, fall. And I go around and you never know when something will capture your attention. I painted on the sides of roads just because that feel just looked amazing. I had to do it. So it was all, you never know. I don't want to be caught without. I actually got my real big start here at Home of Watson when I was 7. I had one of those school shows where one person from each class got chosen, goes around to all the different schools and ends up here. And I remember saying to my parents, one day I'll be a real artist and I'll sell something at a gallery. And that actually happened here in 2012. And in 2015, I lost my job and became a full-time artist, thanks to my very extremely supportive wife, who said, don't wait for retirement, go now. So here I am, 5 years later, working at a national gallery and being able to go paint wherever I want.
It's interesting because pretty much every artist I've met so far has said that it was something they always wanted to do, and then there was like a major life event that happened that sort of just pushed them into it, and now that's what they do.
So sometimes you need the universe to say, okay, enough hints, here's a brick on the head, go do it.
Yeah. So how long did you say you've been doing this full time?
Full time since 2005. So January of 2005.
So about 15 years almost.
No, sorry, 2015. Sorry.
Oh.
I was thinking 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a graphic designer for a long time. Well, still am now because that's what I do
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it pays the bills once in a while.
It does. But I really enjoy what I do here because I get to help promote other artists. I get to meet other artists.
Yeah.
And just see how everything works on the back end of a gallery.
Yeah. For people who are starting out and making not so much the transition, but deciding that they're going to focus a little bit more onto their artwork and art making, young or old, any advice you might suggest to them?
Yep. So when I first started full time, I don't know who gave me this advice or where I heard it, but I went and sought out other artists that are full time, even if they weren't doing the same thing I am, especially if they weren't doing the same thing I am.
Yeah.
And got their advice. I'm going to be full time. What do I need to know? What have you learned? What do you wish you knew when you first started? That sort of thing. And I just took them out for coffees or whatever. And most people are actually pretty receptive to giving advice, especially around here. There wasn't a whole bunch of people. I'm not telling you your competition. Like, there was none of that. I fell into a very loving and encouraging circle of artists. So I was very fortunate that way. But their advice to me was go to every art event, be seen, volunteer, help out, do everything you can at every event.
Yeah.
And I've only been doing this 5 years. I get treated like I've been around for 20 years. I've had veteran artists going, remember when we used to do those shows back in the 90s? And I'm like, I didn't know you until 2 years ago. So, which is really cool, but kind of surreal at the same time, because like, I don't know, I'm just everywhere. But, I mean, if you're shy, it's a little harder. I understand that.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta find a way to be seen. At least get your artwork out there, even if your face isn't. Enter everything. Especially the free events. Like, just go.
Yeah.
Be part of it. And you'll get turned down a lot. That's fine. I get turned down constantly, even the things I'm invited to.
Yeah.
Because you're trying new things. And learn from it. Put your ego aside. Right? Don't let your ego dictate your career.
Yeah.
Because you will fall hard.
And I find to kind of push away that fear, that little voice that says you're never going to do it.
Yeah.
and just completely ignore it and just keep doing it. Like, you're doing it if you're painting and if you are applying for things and if you're talking about your art, you're doing it. So just keep going with it.
Yeah. I had some family members, most of them were very, very supportive, but a couple of them were a little worried because it's very traditional, have a steady job, take care of your family. And they go, well, what if you fail? And I just, without blinking an eye, what if I succeed? I'll be the happiest person on the planet.
Yeah.
And I'm already there. I was asked to lead an art safari to Kenya last year. That was like the highlight of my entire life.
Yeah, I saw your post. That was awesome.
Right? Like, how can, the only way to beat that is to go again.
Yeah.
And travel the world. So, and that's my end goal. I follow all these other world-class artists, and what are they doing? I want to do that. So emulate them.
Yep.
Don't duplicate, but emulate.
Yep.
Right? So that's my method anyway. Seems to be working.
Yep. So something else I've been asking most of the artists that I've been interviewing is, where would you see yourself? Where would you like to see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, I am traveling the world with my wife. Basically what I did in Kenya, leading, art expeditions, and just doing workshops around the world. So it gives me a chance to share what I know and also paint the world.
Right.
Right? So that has been my goal for quite a while. So when I first started, it was one of my goals, and ended up in Kenya last year. So I'm on the start. I want to have a few more places. Although going to Kenya, I've learned that I need to shrink about 7 body sizes or find a bigger plane, because those 16-hour flights are long.
Yeah.
But totally worth it once you're there.
That sounds awesome.
My wife keeps sending me pictures from all over the world, like these fantastic landscapes that she finds, just for inspiration for either your fantasy world or just for where we can go sometime.
Yeah.
So we just keep all these things logged, and at one point we will be doing them.
10 years ago, did you think this is where you would be?
No, not at all. Not at all. So you never know what life will throw at you, and you have to look at everything as an opportunity. Because like even that Kenya trip, that was right place at the right time. A friend of mine owns a safari company, and socially responsible safaris here in town. I went to Sunday school with him as a child. I never really paid too much attention on Facebook. He posted stuff, and I said, one day I'm going to follow you around, Ryan, because I always thought he was on vacation, didn't realize it was his company.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you around, and I'm going to paint. And then he posted something vague about, does anyone know how to paint wildlife, out in the field? And I went, do you mean plein air painting? Because I totally do that. And then he went, oh, I can't believe I didn't think of you. Yeah, I want to start doing art expeditions. So I just happened to see his post at the right time, and I just responded, just, what if?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. And that what if turned out to be a dream come true.
It's awesome. Well, I want to say thank you to you today, Ralph. It's been amazing hanging out with you here.
Welcome. Oh, this is fun.
It's a very peaceful spot. I love it.
Yeah, I was almost tempted to go down the river. There's like a block down, there's the old mill ruins.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the ambient noise of the water rushing down. That might be too loud. And
yeah.
It's one of my favorite places to paint too. But
when I get my new camera and my new mic, and I can do fancy things with it, then we'll go to fancier places.
Yeah. Great. Oh, this is fun.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with artists who might be watching today?
Just keep plugging away and do what you do. Find the joy in what you're doing.
Right.
If it starts to become work, don't be afraid to take a break, but then go and find something else, you know, that gets you inspired. Try something completely different, and you know, just follow it. But always be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Emulate. Don't duplicate. And don't give up. It's tough. Yeah. It's really tough being a full-time artist.
Yeah.
But if you can do it, it's so worthwhile. Right? So you need a good support team. I'll admit that, and I have it. I'm lucky. But there are times when I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And then those times come like, this is why.
Yeah. Awesome. And thanks so much.
You're welcome.